You may have heard about the obesity epidemic in America or flu epidemics, but there is another horrific epidemic plaguing this nation that gets far less media attention. It is the epidemic of child abuse.
Child abuse is definitely a very serious problem in our country, almost epidemic, and I think it's something we don't hear enough about. 1 in 5 children will be a victim of abuse at some point in their life, and the long-term effects are huge. As an adult, a person that's been a victim is about 30% more likely to end up committing violent crimes later in their life. So we're going to see the effects of that for years to come. So it's definitely something that our country needs to be looking at, and looking at very seriously.
And according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, perhaps the most sobering of those statistics is more than 30% of abused and neglected children will later abuse their own children, continuing the horrible cycle of abuse.
The way we think about the cycle of abuse here is kids learn how to parent and how to be adults from their parents. So as they grow older, as they have their own children, they're very likely to fall back on what's been demonstrated for them by their parents. And then the cycle of abuse happens because it passes from generation to generation without talk. Nobody breaks the silence. So if here we can get these kids to talk about their issues and what's happened to them, and we can get that out in the open, that's really the first step toward breaking the cycle of abuse.
However, this cycle can be broken when victims can be provided with a safe environment and programs specifically designed to give them a second chance at life, such as the kind of environment offered at the Good Samaritan Boys Ranch.
The Good Samaritan Boys Ranch was established really as a home for wayward boys, a home where they could come and heal and turn their lives around. And you still see today people who come back to more or less witness that the ranch did turn their lives around. And you know, today that remains basically our still philosophy, is to help kids who are really lost and help them find a way in life.
The kind of recreational therapy provided for boys at the ranch has been proven time and time again to be effective in developing team spirit, fair play, and self-confidence for all troubled youth, not only those who have been victims of abuse.
What we do is we use the horses as therapy to teach empathy, self-esteem, self-confidence. Studies have shown that kids who are able to take care and are kind to animals also are less likely to be abusive as they get older. Our typical day involves kids getting up, having breakfast, going to school. In the course of the school day, they'll see their therapist for individual therapy, talk about some of the issues that are going on. We also have a lot of physical activities. They have PE, we have a gym, we have a full-size indoor swimming pool. And then after school, a lot of the kids will be involved in the horse program. They'll go out, they'll help feed, they'll help take care of the horses, and then at least once a week every kid will get to ride, which is part of that process where they learn to take care of themselves and learn to help take care of the other animals.
When the boys leave the ranch, we hope they're transformed, and we feel like they are, that they are able to go out into the community and become productive members of society, good fathers, good wage earners, good active citizens in the community, and that's really a much more cost-effective way to to really deal with the issue of abuse and neglect. Without the type of intervention that we do and the kind of services that we provide, these kids could end up in the prison system as an adult. And that's why we feel like places like these are so important and really do make a huge impact in our community and a huge impact on the issue of abuse and neglect in society.
Before I came to the ranch, life was a little difficult because I lived in a single-parent house, and my mom was working all the time, and we would have to take care of ourselves and entertain ourselves. And school was difficult because I was young and I really didn't want to do much, and I just wanted to play video games all the time. Now that I've completed the ranch, I have a lot more goals that I want to strive for and to achieve, and they have helped me gotten the right path to achieve those goals.
Since 1959, the Good Samaritan Boys Ranch has been providing hope and a safe and caring home for boys who come from broken or non-existent homes. Its mission is to help boys who have been abused and neglected to become responsible, productive young adults.
This is all about future. This is all about teaching the kids what they're going to do when they're adults. If all you know is being out on the street or doing bad things or making poor choices, that's what you're going to do as you're an adult. What we're trying to teach them while they're here is good choices, positive choices, choices that are good for themselves, choices that make them feel good. You know, if that's outdoor activities, if we teach them how to kayak or canoe, and when they're an adult they go, you know, I'm going to go camping and canoeing this weekend instead of going hanging out on the corner. Or if they learn to take care of animals because of what they've learned here at the ranch, taking care of the horses, you know, that's a positive feeling for them. That's something positive they can carry forward. That's something they can teach their kids that's going to break that cycle of abuse, that's going to break that cycle of not taking care of yourself and of not being responsible for your own actions.
But life at the ranch is not all fun and games. Here, your child receives proven therapies in a structured environment by licensed residential therapists who also conduct individual and family therapy to help bring your entire family back together whenever possible.
All the kids here have a residential therapist who provides individual therapy, family therapy, and group therapy. We use a cognitive behavioral approach to therapy. All the kids have individual therapy a couple times a week at least. Most of them have groups a couple of times a week, and then we get the families involved as much as we can, as often as we can for family therapy.
It's very important for boys to get this type of treatment and help, because it helps to become better, productive citizens.
Help us break the cycle of abuse. Visit us on the web at ranchlife.org.